You're listening to 1723, a safe space made to prepare you and discuss all topics necessary to become a fully fledged adult and help you navigate the difficult leap from teen to adult. Today, it's another solo pod. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a while. I'm a little bit sick, so apologies if my voice sounds kind of crappy. But today, I would like to discuss a very popular topic. It comes around, the podcasting scene and just in general, internet as we know it. But the reason why I've decided to make this podcast is because on the 7th of March this month, I will be doing a speech on self-development in Hrachanska. I'm not quite sure exactly where it is right now because I have it in a file or whatever, but I will be doing an in-person speech on the 7th later in the day. And it's going to be in Czech. So whoever, listens to the podcast and has better Czech than they have English, you can come to the venue on the 7th. I will be posting more information on my Instagram, so stay tuned. But I will be doing a speech. I was approached by a very kind lady, and I thought to myself, well, okay, if I'm going to be doing this podcast episode, this speech in Czech, I think it would be a good idea to also let my English-speaking viewers or listeners be able to listen to this wisdom and stuff, or what I've collected. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, what is self-development? Self-development is this sort of intrinsic need to be better. This wish to develop, right? And when we think of the word develop or, betterment, when it comes to things physical, so let's say if you have, a car that goes faster, a horse that goes faster, a machine that works faster. Okay, maybe not just faster, but other things that we can think of. A cake that tastes better. Okay, better again. that's the sort of catchy word, because better, you have to decide what is better to you. But when it comes to things that are like faster, younger, like slower, more efficient, whatever, those are very easy to see, pinpoint, and work on, right? Because we instantly know what's the goal. It has to be faster. It has to take less time. But when it comes to self-development, it's kind of hard for us to find that idea of what is a better self, right? And also, when you're developing yourself, you have to identify what is thyself. And it's kind of a philosophical question for many people to answer when they start this sort of journey of self-development, because you have to be concrete and very sure of what you decide is you. Is you your body? Is you your mind? Is you your thoughts? You have to make a concrete idea of who is you and make a plan of how are you going to become quote unquote better. One good thing, though, is you can start off by realizing that you have that sort of genuine wish to become better. I'm not sure if not many people do. I think many people get the idea, but nobody really goes through with it. Or not many, even though it may seem to you, since you're in a bubble of self-development, may seem to you that everybody else wants to become the best and whatnot. But the more and more I live life, I sort of realize that no, there's a lot of people who just kind of don't. But I'll get into that later. Either way, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably interested in self-development. But you don't need to question why. All you need to do is figure out, first and foremost, who are you and what is thyself? So, in that, we can sort of think about this thing called paradigma. All of us have at least, let's say, 3 main paradigma. And whether you know it or not, you do have at least three. And the funny part is that these paradigma are very, very strong. So if, let's say, if you don't set your own paradigma, the world is going to set paradigma for you. So, for example, if you come home every single day, you scroll on TikTok, and you half-ass everything, then your paradigma would be um, like ease with please, half-assedness, and so forth. But if you set your paradigma, for example, my three main paradigma are ambition, inquisitiveness, and elegance. And with that, whatever I do, I always look back to my three main paradigma and see if a person who has these three main paradigmas set, would a person do the things that I'm doing right now? It's sort of an easy way for me to pinpoint that sort of betterment, right? Because you always need to see what's not to be able to see what is. So I know that a person who is not ambitious and is just lazying around, that's against my paradigma. So I will not do that. So for you, it has to be, or it should be, if you're trying to go on this self development journey, you should be ruthless in setting your three main paradigma, sort of figuring out your core. Who are you and what do you live by? Some people make this into a couple sentences, maybe a book, but I found that having three main paradigma, three words that you live by, is very easy to remember and very easy to bring you back. Because the biggest feat, the biggest sort of challenge we have as humans is not living or, doing things or, I don't know, making a coffee. It's forgetting. We forget. We as a nation have a lot of issues with amnesia because forgetting is the same as dying, in a sense. Because if you forget, let's say you go to sleep today, you forget about your whole life that you lived, and you wake up tomorrow with nothing, you're starting off as a baby. You're practically a baby. Like, you haven't lived, and you died. That soul, if you forgot everything, you died. So, and we as people, obviously, we forget certain amounts of information so that we can withhold more information and be more functioning. But having things that remind us of who we are, what are we doing, so forth, helps us make sure that we don't quote unquote die. So set three main paradigma that remind you every day of who are you as a soul and what are you doing. Also to that, I highly, highly recommend you get a journal. Honestly, like single-handedly biggest change in my life was when I started journaling and started like documenting things. So that too. But if you really need to just start somewhere, start with making three main paradigma. So after you've created those three main paradigma, when it comes to self-development, you can start thinking of what would a person who has those paradigma do. And most we have some sorts of societal paradigma. So if you think about it, most people strive to be powerful, kind, giving, so forth, like these sorts of paradigma. So you can start with those, but if you have any specific ones that, go to you or like make you specifically, then hold on to those. But what would a person that has the paradigma that you chose do? Right? And then you can start piece by piece seeing things. And very, very useful tool is doing the copycat method, right? So if you don't know, just look at the other monkey. Look what he's doing. Just check it out, It seems like he or she is doing well. Maybe I could try that too. If chances are, if you like something, if you like what somebody else is doing, they have similar paradigma to you, your core values. See, this goes back to values. Values and paradigma are very similar, but it's I believe a bit different because values are like what you, or actually they might be the same, but I don't know the specific definitions, but values or paradigma. If you if you see another person doing really well or doing things that you think are great, they probably have a similar set of values or paradigma to you. So you would, vibe. But if you don't know what to do with life, just look at what they're doing and copycat it. And then you'll figure yourself out. Don't worry. So, but the third point of this first page that I have, because I made a little presentation, y'all. Whoever's going to be on that speech next Friday, y'all are so, or I think it's actually Thursday, but anyways, y'all gonna get a presentation. But last point of this first page is that you need to set yourself a different mindset. So most people live by the fact that they're surviving. They're not living, they're not developing a self, they are surviving. So they wake up, they want to make money, they want to secure food and not die and maybe have some fun. That's it. You, if you're listening to this podcast, you are a part of this community. I am invested in you. I am sitting here on my couch, taking my time to assure that you achieve what you want to achieve. So if you're like listening to this podcast genuinely, you have so much potential for more. Okay, so don't like sit around and just survive. You have potential for more. You have so much potential to live such a happy life. Like seriously. So the first point is transforming your mindset from a person who's surviving to a person who's living. Now, what is living, right? I personally don't exactly know what I would constitute as living, but the way I see it is I'm playing a video game, all right? I am playing a very complex video game. I'm a soul from the universe. I don't know where. And see, this is the best part. I don't need to know. Because I know when I die, I'll go back up into the universe and I'll get my memories back. So whenever I'm low, really low, and I'm questioning everything, right? I'm like, what is going on? Da 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 da. Terrible. I think of the fact that I'm a soul that is from the universe, okay? And I saw the planet and I was like, you know what? This sounds super fun. This is like a roller coaster. This is a great video game. You get to experience things physically. You get to feel energy in motion. That's what emotions are. Energy in motion, right? You get to feel energy around you. You get to feel energy with touch, with your senses. And I, as a soul from the universe, was like, yep, this sounds freaking great. I'm bored of GTA 5. Let me let me go play life, bro. So I dropped down into this universe. Onto this planet, and I I've lived lives maybe in the past. Maybe that's why we have these memories of past lives, because we're just souls that keep playing this game or whatever. But that's the best thing is I convinced myself that I was popped on this universe and this planet to play this video game. And in order to play this video game, I forgot everything, right? In order to play authentically, I had to forget everything of my stellar life to be able to fully live as a human and experience it authentically. And I don't need to worry about what's my life like, or what's my existence like after death, or what's my existence like when I die and I go back into the universe and become a little solar being, because it doesn't matter. I'll be reminded. It's fine. Like I'll get my memory back and it's good. Right now my focus, cuz focus is very important. Focus should be just to play this video game, right? And back to this paradigma thingy, these values. Most people would say like, but why are you alive? No, I have my paradigma. I have my 3 values. So my video game character is trying to level up in these values, in these goals that I set, because I'm inquisitive and I'm ambitious. And ambitious means that I set way too many goals and I'm going to do them because that brings me joy, genuine joy, because it aligns with my values, my soul, my energy, right? And I feel the energy in motion just click. Because most people feel bad, most people feel sad and just angry and all these things because their paradigmas and their values are not in line. So, even for a person who is very successful, let's say a person who has a business in mining stuff or in cutting down trees. Okay, let's say that somebody has a business in cutting down trees. If they're unhappy, it's because it's not aligning with their values. Maybe they like nature and they don't want to be doing this, but because society told them that they have to make money or whatever, it's they decided to do that because they need to, everybody should secure themselves, but still, maybe not in that sense. And so he's unhappy or she's unhappy because it's not aligning with their paradigm. So once you realize what is your core values and you live by those to a T, life becomes so much more fun. But it starts with the idea that you have to change your mindset from a person who's surviving. Because right now, with your brain, with what you're computing right now in your mind, you're not just a monkey. You're not like living out here, running around trying to get food. Because obviously, if, I don't know, World War III happens, it's going to change a little. But that's just a part of the game. But you realized it, okay? So, because if you were really just that dumb and you were just living here, where would this sort of brain thoughts, abilities come from? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim to be right, and I'm not trying to be. But this is what has brought me most joy out of life, because anybody I ask what do they want to do with their life, they say I want to be happy. So I'm just sharing what's bringing me joy and what's making me happy. And in this sort of self-development journey, it brings me the most joy because it aligns my values, and that just lets me do more things that I find fun. But anywho, so get out of surviving and play a video game. You're a celestial being playing a fun little video game. So I'm going to go on slide 2. So what does it start with? It starts with, this intrinsic wish to be better. So you already have that, but you really need to focus on it. Realize the fact that you are a player in this huge game. This might be easier actually for gamers, which is funny. Actually, I used to be a gamer, okay? Nobody bash me, but I used to play Valorant and CS:GO and all of these games, Minecraft, Animal Crossing. Okay, I still have Animal Crossing, and Mario Kart and stuff, but I used to be a gamer. And so this mindset comes easier to me, I think. But realize that you're a player in a game and then sort of build up that energy where you want to be better than other people, right? So, and this also goes down into the core of us as humans, as like the beings that do stuff throughout our nature. It's natural for us to want to be better than our peers, than the people around us, because if we're better than the people around us, we are independent. We are free. That's the freedom. Because if you're worse, then people can take advantage of you. So realize that you're playing a video game and just try and create that energy of betterment, of becoming better than others. And this may seem selfish at first, where you're like, no, but I want to be equal to everyone. I want to be the same. Whoop, whoop. Please. Okay, maybe not like equality is great, but what if the person you're trying to be equal to is not doing anything? What if the person you're trying to be equal to is the equivalent of a goldfish or a baboon? Like, why should you stop and become a goldfish? No. It's better for you to become a great person and help everybody else also become better people than for you to dumb yourself down. And it's okay if you don't want to do that, but that's my recommendation, okay? So, now I'm coming to the third slide, which is view, or I wouldn't necessarily call it view, but analyze. Perfect. That's the word. Analyze. Um, so many people, when I talk to them about self development and building this intrinsic need, this wish to become better, right? It comes easy to a lot of people, but it also doesn't, because everything that is easy is also not easy in some senses. And what do I mean by analyze? Well, you, let's say, that you're listening to this podcast and you're like, but I don't have the energy. I'm so tired. This life has tired me out, man. I don't want to play this game anymore. This ain't fun. Where's the fun? My dopamine receptors have been fried off like 2 weeks ago already. Kimmy, this is not the vibe. Well, let me let you in on something very, very fundamental, okay? You are what you consume. You are what you consume. All right? So, the food you eat, the information you gather, the thoughts you listen to, and you let get into your brain and permit the thoughts that you're having now, you are what you consume. Simple as that. Now, what does that mean for you? If you're listening to negative content, if you're listening to depressive content, if you're on your phone scrolling and scrolling, in taking in information that's negative and dumbing and like just not helping you in any way, and plus that, if you're eating food that's making your brain want to, off itself, no flippin' wonder that you want to like end this game. Like, hello? It's a very fascinating thing for me when I realized how important nutrition is. There is many twin studies done in the fact that people who eat different diets, they become different people because food, like it literally, your stomach is one of your most important organs because the energy you ingest affects the energy you output. It affects your brain. Like, it's as if you're absorbing energy. Imagine you're, again, like a magical being or something. I really like using this analogy for, imagining things and really playing a role because it really helps. It's a great tool for people to be able to understand concepts. So imagine you're this magical being, and you can absorb things. Okay. Now, just look around your room. Look around wherever you are. I see. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm in my living room, or it's like a living kitchen room. It's a whole situation. I have a small apartment, so it's kind of crammed. But I have a bookshelf, right? And I have dead flowers on my on my kitchen table. I gotta get some new ones. I always get myself flowers every 2 weeks because I think that's important for you to always have flowers. Either I always receive them or I buy them myself because I just told myself I am a person who has flowers. I fucking deserve flowers, so I will always have them. Anywho, if I imagine that I'm absorbing the knowledge in a book, that seems good to me. So you just have to look around and absorb the correct things. If I absorbed a book or those dead flowers or absorbed a book with negative information, I would probably become more negative. Or if I absorbed some food like potato chips over, I don't know, something like an apple, the energy of an apple and the energy of potato chips. Do I want to be like potato chips. And this sounds very stupid, okay? But hang with me here. What is the emotion that you associate with potato chips? Do you want to be like potato chips? No. Or yes? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe that means being fun to you. But look at what each object represents to you. Okay? And this is a very, very interesting way of looking at things. But if you look at food and what does that object, like, what energy does that give out to you? And if you want to absorb that energy, right? So if you're feeling very tired and you don't want to play the game anymore, start analyzing your life. Everything. Start analyzing the information that you're consuming, the food consuming, the energies. This also means people around you, okay? Like if you're going to school every single day and there's a lot of dead energy people, there's like high chance that you're going to have that same sort of feeling. And that's where you sort of realize where you have to start, um, protecting yourself in a sense. You don't have to like completely just stop talking to everyone, but be aware of the energy that you're consuming, because you, again, you are the three closest people that you hang around with. You are also everything that you consume. And there was also a study done by TikTok that they started, they selected, I think, 20 random viewers or random just TikTok users, and they started spamming them with depressing, sad content. And they did like a case study, and then they asked them if they felt more sad or more depressed or had more suicidal thoughts and whatnot. And they did. No shit. If you're consuming that content, chances are that you will ruminate those thoughts, because we recollect things. We think of what we did yesterday. We think of what we did a year ago. We think of what we did a week ago. And we also think of what we're going to do. Because the present moment is very fleeting. It's very hard to just exist in one moment without recollecting. But because we do all this recollecting, whatever we're doing, whatever information we're consuming, whatever food we're consuming, we will recollect it. So if you're consuming a lot of suicidal, sad content that's just draining, or just content saying like, you're gonna lose your job to AI, bro, stop wanting to do anything. just like kill yourself. Whoop. Like, you're probably gonna think those thoughts, and it's not beneficial to you. So I recommend to you, become a sort of analytic of your life and have this one thought in your head, okay? So if you have your three paradigma, your second thing as this human who's been like awakened or something, is to realize that the world is out to change your mind. So I don't know if y'all have seen 1984 or 1985. Okay, I don't even know. Actually, the George Orwell book. I saw the play and I read the book, but I don't know why the numbers don't sit in my head. But in the book, they're out to sort of change completely the main characters' minds, and just believe that the world is out to sort of change your mind. Maybe not even on purpose, maybe not negatively, that's just the way that it is. And you need to protect your thought process by analyzing, what am I consuming? What am I putting in my body? How could that be affecting my brain? And what can I do to change that? Because the second I started analyzing food labels, and you don't have to do this. Actually, you don't have to do it at all, because I opened up a Patreon, and in Patreon, I'm now going to be putting all of my content when it comes to nutrition and these things, so that you can just look, check, or you can literally just ask me. Like, you can ask me, hey, is this dietary thingy okay? And I'll look into it for you. I just, like, I'll do that. because I find it fun and I want to help anybody who is a part of my community. So you can check that out and analyze if what you're putting into your body is going to be affecting your brain in the way that you want it to, right? If you have chronic headaches, if you have any illnesses, if you have bad skin, all of these are signs that the things that you're consuming are affecting you, right? So stop with the idea that when you were born, you were suddenly born intrinsically with this like DNA that's going to live out your whole life, and all the illnesses that you would have or will ever have are already set. No, it's the stuff that you're consuming. It directly affects how your life ends up looking like. So, and do this with information as well. Like, look at your For You page, maybe even right now if you feel like it. What do you have on your For You page? A For You page is a very, very good way of seeing what sort of content are you usually, um, you know, what sort of content are you usually consuming? So a person who's very into finance is gonna have a lot of finance bros, telling them finance information, and that's a great thing if that's what you like. Or if you have a lot of food content because you're a cook, that's also great. But just make sure that you're not consuming a mindless content or content that you don't want to be consuming. Just become like a tasteful little human. Just be like, yes, no, I am very tasteful with what I choose to consume. I will not listen to this random rant about how life sucks because I don't need that. That will negatively affect me. No, thank you. Say no to the bad glass of wine. So, yes, so analyze. And okay, so I'm going to go now down into this last slide, which now that you've analyzed your life, okay, you've switched up your diet, maybe, or maybe it stay the same, props to you. You've made sure that the data and the information that you're consuming is also positive and you're taking care of yourself. And I guarantee you, if you actually start analyzing and you actually start reading books or like if that's what you want to do, if you actually start analyzing and consuming information that is positive to you, you will have so much energy. So much. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. sometimes just because my body wakes me up. I am so ready. I wake up and I'm like, damn, I got so much stuff to do. I'm so excited. Man, this is great. Cuz I'm playing a video game here, okay? Y'all like I sometimes go to school and I'm like, y'all surviving out here, sleeping on the table. I'm here playing a video game. This is fun as hell. Okay? So, once you analyze everything and you get this energy because you're putting quality energy into your brain is happy because it has great energy to work with. You can turn that energy into something. You can create. And this is, the greatest thing as humans that we can do is the most fulfilling thing is because we're almost the only people that can like create literally anything. If you put your mind to it, you seriously can almost make anything. And even if you can't maybe make it in this life, you can start the chain reaction of people who will eventually create it because you're a system, but you can be a part of the system. So when talking about self-development, when you've sort of developed this wish to be better, you can start off with skills. What are skills? It's your body, it's you as a soul, as a little game player, teaching your like lower soul, which is this body, this physical body that you're in, how to do things and be able to create things, be able to help people without having to Google it. You just already know you have that skill. And after all of these, make sure that you're taking care of your physical health. I've been doing yoga for 30 days now every single morning. Have never felt better. It's great. It's really nice because I do like gratitude. I have gratitude towards my body every single morning when I'm moving around. Like, funnily enough, when I tore my ACL, which it is still torn, okay? I might be getting an operation end of April, which kind of sucks, but oh well. But every single morning for now, whilst it's still torn but like functional, um, I when I'm doing yoga every morning, I'm grateful. I have gratitude towards my healthy body because I understand that that's one of the things that uh we cannot do anything about. If you have, a broken leg, you can't really just like wish that away. That's just a physical thing, a physical part of you. So you can think of this yourself as like a higher self and a lower self. So your higher self is teaching your lower self these high value skills and also appreciating the fact that you're healthy. You've got a body and you can do things. So try in the three main pillars of self-development. Try and be as healthy as possible. This goes back to the analyzing, making sure that all the food that you're consuming, the you that you're becoming, is consistently, in line with your three paradigmas. Then, secondly, build high value skills. If you don't know any high value skills, just Google them or think of whatever you'd like to be doing. I feel like you probably already have a sense of what you know or think is a high value skill. And three, grow your social position. We still live in a society. We're not one human playing this game. The whole point is that we're all, these beings on this planet and we interlink and we create a system. So create a higher social position by working on yourself and then helping others. Because the more help you give, the more help you'll get, and the higher you'll be able to getting this ranking of this video game, right? So focus on those three things. I see that it's already 37 minutes. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast episode. I hope I was able to um, give to you some good information, some quality information. I hope all of you have a lovely, lovely day, night, weekend, week, whatever. And I hope to see you soon. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you're going to see me on Instagram and see me at the live speech where you can talk to me after I give the speech and we can share ideas, and stay tuned on my Instagram. And I will see you next time. Bye.